Most people who are trying to change their attachment style are doing it in the slowest possible way. They usually learn a label first, and then they watch a few videos, and then they say, I'm anxious, I'm avoidant, or I'm disorganized. And then they just hope that that awareness turns into secure attachment if they try hard enough. And that usually fails. Awareness just helps you name the problem. Practice is what actually changes that problem. If you want real attachment change, you need a system that you can run in real life, at work, in your marriage, in your dating, with your family, during conflict, loneliness, shame, and the exact moment that your old pattern wants to take over. If you watched my previous video, the 90-day attachment challenge earlier this month, this video gives you the systemic approach underneath that challenge. I want to show you how to replace the old reactions with something your nervous system can actually do right. Maybe you're tired of reacting that same way. The anxious texting, the avoidant withdrawing, the disorganized explosions or the quiet shutdowns, the fawning, the overthinking, the testing, the accusing, the people-pleasing, and then after all of that, panicking because you feel like it's never enough. Maybe you already know your attachment style, but you can't seem to stop those behaviors. If that's you, this is the video you need to watch. I'm going to give you 3 steps for changing your attachment style that actually work. These steps work in real relationships, by the way, and even when you're single, because you might not be ready to recruit a partner yet, but you want to build a relationship that will last. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I've got 16 years of training and experience working in attachment and relationships. And I've worked successfully with over 2,000 clients through these patterns, and I've also trained certified attachment coaches in my own methodology. And through all of that, I've seen some patterns over and over again. People learning their attachment style, they feel relief for about a week, they start using their label as an identity, they repeat the same patterns, and then they get frustrated because secure attachment just seems unreachable to them. That's why today I want to give you the 3 steps to change and a simple practice plan you can start this week. Let's start first with the mistake that keeps most people trapped after they learn their style. So step number 1, stop making your attachment your identity. This is the first step, but honestly, sometimes it's the hardest for a lot of people. Stop treating your attachment pattern like a permanent identity. Your attachment style is learned safety programming. It's a survival adaptation to help you get your needs met in a situation when people weren't going to meet your needs. This reframe, by the way, instead of making it your identity, it's a pattern, is backed by science. Attachment styles are not fixed personality types you're born with. It's adaptations that are learned. A set of responses your nervous system built to stay safe in an environment you grew up in. And because it was learned, by the way, it can and should be updated. Research on remade secure behavior patterns show people moving from insecure patterns to secure through new experiences. That means your style is a program redone through experience. It's not a life sentence that you have to live through. So most people do this wrong, unfortunately. They say, I'm anxious, so of course I panic. He's avoidant. He will never change. She's disorganized, so the relationship is just hopeless. They'll say things like, that's just my attachment. That's just how I am. That's just how they are. And that language removes all responsibility and hope. It turns programming into destiny and identity. Repair then becomes useless. Here's what I say instead. My system learned this. My body practiced this. My brain repeats this pattern under stress. I can study it. I can measure it. I can interrupt it. I can build a better, smarter response. Shame always fails, by the way. Some people just try to shame themselves harder. It doesn't work. Shame makes anxious people cling, makes avoidant people run, makes disorganized people spiral. It just makes people fall apart. Shame doesn't work. You don't need more shame to motivate you. You need more objectivity, less moral panic, and more of a repair-based mindset. Think of it this way. If you're reprogramming a computer that keeps crashing, you don't scream at the computer and make it feel bad enough to fix itself. You just fix the coding. You go in and figure out where the coding is off, you shift it, and it works properly. You just rewrite the code. That's what attachment is about, is rewriting the code inside your nervous system. Replacing the old code with a new code gives you a different output. The point here is that your behavior pattern becomes something you can study. And once you can study it, the next step opens up. Step number 2, chart your behavioral programming. Chart what the pattern actually does. Most people only remember dramatic moments where they got something wrong. A big fight, 3-day shutdowns, anxious spirals, ugly texts, crying in the car on the way to work, right? Silent punishments. But those patterns, they run in small daily reps first. Here's what to chart. Chart withdrawals. Chart pouting, reassurance seeking, angry reactions, anxious texts, overthinking, fawning and people pleasing, stress spirals, going quiet, punishing, chasing, freezing, appeasing, testing, accusing, mentally rehearsing your abandonments, checking your tone, reading into pauses, planning how to disappear, building a case against your partner in your head. Chart all of these things, especially negative self-talk. Why? Because numbers matter. You need numbers, patterns, triggers, and timing. You have to find sequences so that you can actually shift them. Until you understand them, you won't know what needs to change or how. I have one client that sticks out in my brain from this. She was an actual, quite literal supermodel that most of you out there probably look up to or have seen in magazines. She came in with incredible negative self-talk, but she thought it was minor. I had her start tracking it. Piece of paper, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 days. Okay, before I would see her again. I said, just put a little black X on any time that you have a negative self-thought. She came in 1 week later, absolute wreck. Makeup just destroyed. Sweat clothes instead of all dressed to the nines like usual, with a paper black with X's. The chart didn't create the problem. The chart showed the picture for her. It changed her self-image because she said, I never realized how much I'm destroying myself every day. It destroyed her week and made her miserable, but then it gave her something to work with. She had numbers to reduce. Most of you out there, you probably think your phone use is fine, right? But if you're like me, eventually once a week, you have a pop-up that gives you the actual stats on how much you've been using your phone this week. And the report probably says something way more than you anticipated. Suddenly your self-image updates and you go, am I really doing it that much? I should pay attention. And then you do. Attachment works the same way. You might think, I barely withdraw. I only ask for reassurance when it matters. I'm not that reactive. I don't people please that much. Chart it. Let the data speak for itself. Okay? Do this for 7 days. Open a notes app, just like my client. Create 4 columns, your trigger, your reaction, what I wanted, what I did. Okay? What was my trigger? What was my reaction? What did I want? And what did I actually do? Quick entries. No essays. No self-attack, no self-defense, no courtroom speech, data collection. Trigger, partners seem distant. Reaction, I asked 3 times if they were okay. What I wanted, reassurance and closeness. What I did, texted them repeatedly. Or trigger, partner asked for hard conversation. Reaction, my body tightened up and I wanted to leave. What I wanted, space and control. What I did, I said I was tired and I disappeared. Or trigger, my partner criticized my tone. Reaction, I had a shame spike and anger. How dare they? What I wanted, to feel respected. What I did, raised my voice and attacked. What this gives you is clarity. Clarity and proof that you need to make this change, but also pattern recognition. No more guessing. Okay? This is material. If you're in coaching with my team, you can start using this, or with a therapist or a coach, whoever you're with. Start using this data to start shifting it. This creates a real target for real change. Now, once you have that, you're ready for the most important step, replacement. But first, quick check-in. If you know your attachment style and you just keep doing it because the pattern hasn't changed, if you keep repeating that pattern, especially under stress, and you're tired of seeing it, and you want to make a permanent shift to become securely attached, that's the pattern my team and I work with every day. Okay, we have a few ways that we can help. First, my free attachment circle community. It's linked down in the description below. It is the central hub for people who want to fix their attachment. My team and I are all in there having conversations every single day. Plus, we host live events in there all the time. We'd love for you to join us. We also have the free attachment styles quiz to identify your patterns that are blocking your connections. Maybe it's avoidant, anxious, disorganized, whatever it is. Not as a label or personality, but a beginning place for your pattern description. And then you move towards secure. It also gives you your first next steps, by the way. And if you don't know your next steps, just reach out. My team is here. We can help route you. All of those links are down in the description below. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's turn your charting into actual behavior changes. Step 3, replace the old reaction with a trained behavior. Most people miss this. They try to change attachment by saying, I'm just going to stop. I will stop chasing. I will stop withdrawing. I will stop exploding. I will stop overthinking. I will stop people pleasing. I will stop everything. That instruction is incomplete. Your nervous system needs a new track to run. A living person needs something to do. Empty prohibition just leaves a vacuum. Stress is going to fill in that vacuum with the old pattern because it's all that it knows. Replacement behaviors give your body a new option and a new direction. This is a real principle from behavioral science. You can't reliably kill off a behavior by telling a person to stop, because stopping leaves that vacuum. The old pattern rushes back in the moment you are stressed. Replacement is what works. It gives your nervous system a specific new action to do instead. An anxious person might do this. Their old reaction: ask for reassurance repeatedly. Test the partner, read the tone, send long texts. New behavior: write down the reassurance I've already received. Breathe for 2 minutes. Make one clean request, that's it. Then I wait for a response without stacking messages. An avoidant replacement might be old behaviors: withdraw, go cold, disappear, say I'm fine. All right. New behavior: say something like, I'm overwhelmed, but I do care about this conversation. I need 20 minutes, or I can come back at 7 o'clock. Then you actually come back. A loud, disorganized replacement: the old behavior might be raising your voice, threatening to leave, attacking, escalating. The new behavior: put your hands on the countertop, your feet flat, lower voice, and then you name the fear. I'm scared that you don't care about me. I don't know if that's true, but I'm scared that that might be true. I need 10 minutes to calm down before I damage this relationship. A quiet, disorganized replacement might be your old reaction: you agree automatically to everything. You fawn, you disappear internally, and you say yes and then resent it later. Your new behavior might be saying things like, let me think about that. I need to check in with myself. I'll give you an answer later tonight. And then later tonight, you give a real answer. Replacement has to include specific words, body actions, specific timing, a specific return plan, a specific repair step, something specific. What will I do? Weak replacements are like, I'll communicate better, I'll regulate, right? I'll stop being reactive. Stop doesn't work. I'll just be more secure. No. Strong replacement sounds like, when I feel the urge to send a second reassurance text, I will write the first answer down, wait 10 minutes, and ask one clear question if I still need support. When I feel myself shutting down, I will ask for 20 minutes and then return. When my voice rises, I will put both hands on the counter and I will name the actual fear I'm having. When you do this, it's a trainable pathway to replacement. One practice rep leads to the next. Your partner can recognize the difference, a coach can help you refine it, a community can support you through it, and you can repeat it reliably. Those 3 steps are supposed to work together. They give you one system of change. Step 1 gives you a reframe. Step 2 gives you data. And step 3 gives you practice. Without step 1, you just drown in shame. I'm bad and I should try harder. That's it. That's what most people do when they try to fix their attachment. I am bad and I should try harder. You make the label your identity and you defend it until you collapse. If you don't do step 2, you just guess. I will try harder. I don't know how hard. I don't know what to do. I don't know how big of a problem. No, don't minimize. Don't exaggerate. Fix the target. Understand the data. And if you skip step 3, you'll understand everything perfectly, but then you'll repeat the same patterns because you have no replacement. Try harder doesn't work. Stop doesn't work. Insight without replacement just becomes frustration. That's not what you want. Insight does not rewire the brain. Understanding your pattern lights up the wrong part of your brain, but the pattern itself lives in deeper, faster circuits that only change through repeated new experiences. Knowing is not the same as rewiring. Practice is what edits the actual circuit itself. The real goal is to go from vague self-awareness into measurable practice. That's how you become a pattern breaker. You stop hiding behind the labels and stop beating yourself up, and instead become healthier and predictable so you trust yourself. So my homework for you: take my free attachment style quiz just to make sure you know what your attachment style is. Identify the pattern you're starting from, right? Avoidance, anxiety, disorganized. It's a pattern, okay? It's just a pattern. Use that as your starting map, but don't make it your identity. Do the reframe. This is my pattern. And for the next few days, chart a behavior, just one, whatever that behavior is. Pick one that costs you the most and chart it. Every time it does, write down the trigger, the reaction, what you wanted and what you did. Not an essay, just the data. At the end of that 7-day period, I want you to choose one replacement behavior, specific words, specific actions, timing, whatever it is. And then here's the big key piece. Bring that into my free secure circle group. Post the pattern in there in the discussion boards. Have that conversation with us. Post your pattern, your replacement, ask for feedback, ask for accountability, watch other people practice, and do this with support. That's why I have a free community to help you do this. If you have a partner, after you've tracked for a few days, maybe tell them, I'm working on this pattern. Here's what I've noticed. Here's the replacement pattern I'm going to practice. I'm handling my side and I'm not asking you to fix it for me. I just want you to know that I'm working on changing this. That's it. And if you're single, practice that with friends, with family, maybe coworkers, a community, a secure attachment. It's meant to be trained through relational reps with somebody. All of this becomes easier when you know your pattern and you have people walking through it with you. You now have the 3 steps for actually changing your attachment style. Stop making it your identity, chart your behavior, and replace the old reaction with a new trained behavior. That's it. Remember these things, okay? Attachment only becomes real when it becomes measurable and replaceable. You study the pattern, you track it, you practice the replacement. That's really it. You become a person who interrupts that cycle. I highly recommend, if you don't know your style and you haven't taken my quiz yet, take my free attachment quiz. Find your starting pattern, just use it as your first assessment step, begin the 7-day chart like we laid out here, and then join the free secure circle and share that with us in there. We are here to help. We have attachment knowledge, tools for relationships, ways to build emotional safety, and secure relationship skills inside there. We can help you. That's why it's a free community built for that support. I'd love to hear from everybody out there. Which of the 3 steps have you been stuck on? I know a lot of you in this community have been watching my material for a long time, trying to become secure. Which step are you stuck on right now? Are you making the patterns your identity accidentally? Are you not charting the behaviors? You're just trying to figure out what to do? Are you not replacing the reaction? You're just trying to stop? Tell me which one, and be honest. Which one are you stuck on? Let me know in the comments. The biggest thing I want you to take forward is this. Don't just learn about secure attachment. Practice it until your nervous system believes that it actually has a better option than the old way of doing things.